What are the greatest rock and roll bands of all time?
Oh.
Hence, net sales and durability count.
What counts?
Durability. Like they've been out there for a long time. Net sales and durability count.
Oh, durability. I got it. Okay. I don't know. Zen, you're the music guy. What's your answer?
Well, you guys should know more rock and roll than me.
Really?
I'm joking. No, really. You should know more rock and roll than me.
You're talking to a guy who has only listened to Japanese music since I was like 12 years old.
Wow. You started early.
Well, I would say, if, based on what he's asking, what are the greatest rock and roll bands of all time, hence the sales and durability, then if we're going by that category, you have to put up Rolling Stones. They're way up there. But, you know, and looking at what's in the Hall of Fame, I don't think Led Zeppelin is up there. I know they're good, but I don't think they're up there. Some people may or may not say this is a rock and roll band, but Bon Jovi, they sold a lot.
I like Bon Jovi.
They sold a lot of stuff.
Bon Jovi's not rock and roll, really? People wouldn't put
Some
Bon
people
Jovi.
don't think they're really rock and roll.
What would you put him as?
They I don't know. They don't really consider them like Metallica. That's hard rock. That's to the extreme. Kiss, they sold a lot because they sold so much merchandise and stuff. But Kiss is still rock and roll. But there's still some hardcore rock and roll fans that don't consider Kiss like really, you know. When you look at Black Sabbath, to me they're to the extreme, and they're not really top of the line of rock and roll.
Wow.
I mean, you know, but there's still some legendary serious rock bands out there. I mean, I'm kind of favorite to ZZ Top because I worked with them before. I'm favorite to certain you know rock and roll bands because you know Journey. I love Journey because those guys are always good to me. I like Foreigner because they're good to me. I don't know. I like Pat Benatar. I mean, but anyways, there's so many good rock and roll bands, but his question is the greatest rock and roll bands. And
The greatest.
who decides who's the greatest?
Who?
Because,
That's like asking like what's the greatest dish of all time.
right, but here's the reason why I say who decides who's the greatest rock and roll band. If you go back and look, this might be a little bit too much information, but you go back and look at how they were rated and ranked. Their labels sometimes paid publishers and magazines to rate them. So they got paid behind the scenes to get certain status, but that's too much information. So, because does that really make them the greatest rock? I go with the fans say. What does the fans say? So, anyways, those are a few. Those are a few. Because see, I like Genesis and Phil Collins. Are they considered? Are they really? I love.
What
U2.
about the Beatles? Are the Beatles rock and roll?
They should be. Even though they're old school, they should be. I mean, what about Chuck Berry? He was rock and roll. A lot of people, anyways, Little Richard. I mean, could you say Elvis is rock and roll? So, anyways, that's another conversation. Everybody has a different opinion on it. Well, what do you say, Evan?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not a connoisseur enough to know. I would probably just go by who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, which I went to. It was tons of fun. I'm pretty sure the Beatles were in there. I'm pretty sure like Prince was in there.
Right.
So maybe I could be wrong, but from the list, great. I mean, if the Beatles are in there, I would go Beatles.